Our Pillsbury employee volunteers are eager to take your calls. Thank you.
All right, the preliminaries out of the way. It is on with Action Auction 1982. And here to open up the first board is a veteran of many past action auctions, Jay Philpot from WLOL Radio.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. This is our final day of Action Auction. We will be here with you all through the afternoon and all through the evening and even into the wee hours of Sunday morning tomorrow morning. So stay with us and view some of this fine merchandise we have for you. With me is Bob Blau of Golden Valley. Bob is a model for Poppin' Fresh, and he has some new merchandise for us on the K-board. Go ahead.
First thing is a silk screen entitled Pumpkins. Donor value is $150. It's donated by Stanley Cronick of University Avenue. This silk screen is signed and numbered and uses vivid hues of blue, orange, and green. The second item is St. Paul, a print, valued at $70, donated by Minnesota Artist Gallery on University Avenue. St. Paul is an individual hand-colored print on 100% rag paper. The artist is Lisa Gale, pronounced Gale, excuse me. And the image is downtown St. Paul as seen from the state capitol. Item number 3 is a watercolor by Victoria Barnes, valued at $50, donated by Minnesota Artist Gallery on University Avenue. The title of this piece is St. Paul Parkland. It depicts trees reflected in a stream, and it is signed. Item number 4, Guthrie Walker lithograph, valued at $70, Minnesota Artist Gallery donator. The address is University Avenue. This lithograph, entitled Guthrie Walker, is a hand-printed and individually hand-colored piece on 100% rag stone-hinged paper. The mat size is 26 by 23 inches. The artist is Lisa Gale. Item number 5, ink, tempera, and watercolor entitled Sunset Variation. Value is $50. It's donated by the Minnesota Artist Gallery of University Avenue. This vividly colored original by Catherine Vesley is matted. The dimensions are 2.5 feet high by 3 feet, and the piece is signed. And item number 6 is a stereograph, Serene River. It's valued at $125. The donor is Select Design, Inc. of Groveland Avenue in Minneapolis. This is a signed and numbered print. The artist is Howard Bradford, and it is numbered 19 of 50. It is shrunk wrapped for protection and is 21 inches high and 34.5 inches long. It's dated 1967.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. We'll recap the items for you on the board, the K-board, our first board of merchandise today. Item K1 was the silk screen entitled Pumpkins, the donor value $150 from Stanley Cronick of Minneapolis. Item K2 is the St. Paul print with a donor value of $70 from Minnesota Artists Gallery of Minneapolis. Item K3, the watercolor by Victoria Barnes with a donor value of $50 from the Minnesota Artists Gallery, also of Minneapolis. Item K4 was the Guthrie Walker lithograph, a $70 donor value from the Minnesota Artists Gallery of Minneapolis. And item K5, the ink, tempera, and watercolor entitled Sunset Variation, $50, also from the Minnesota Artists Gallery of Minneapolis. And our final item on the K-board was item K6, the serigraph of Serene River with a donor value of $125 from Select Design Incorporated of Minneapolis. Now, if you'd like to make a bid on any of the merchandise here at Action Auction, 644-2000 is the number to call. We'll have some new tables and merchandise for you in a moment. Right now, our brand new C-board, and Joel Aho from KJJO is our auctioneer for the C-board. He's playing a little game with me here. He's standing backstage, so I have to stand out here and give him a big build-up and a big introduction.
Way to
there
go,
he is.
Jay.
So now he's a great guy. I've said my piece. Now it's up to him to live up to it.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Starting out on the C-board, item C1 is a calculator. It's valued at $80. The donor company is First Federal Savings and Loan on Marquette Avenue in Minneapolis. This is a Royal 4HPD calculator with paper roll. Batteries are included. It's valued at $80. That's item C1. Item C2 is a Chinese vase. The value of this item is $75, donated by Phyllis Murray Showrooms of Minneapolis. The design fired in this lovely vase must be seen close to be appreciated. Its subtle, delicate entwining, a combination of floral and branch pattern and unified design make it truly a work of art. That's item C2. Item C3 is a woven silk jacket valued at $75. The donor firm is Chimney House Antiques on Grand Avenue in St. Paul. It's a black Victorian woven silk dolman with jet beading and lace trim. That's item C3. Item C4 is a Big Duke pickup valued at $27, donated by Tonka Toys of Mound, Minnesota. Now this is a two-part ditto. The two highest bidders will each get one. Let your child use his or her imagination with this Tonka Mighty Roughneck pickup and Big Duke, guaranteed for hours of fun. That's item C4 from Tonka Toys, a Big Duke pickup. Item C5 is a horse-drawn wedding carriage. The value of this item is $325. The donor firm is Meadow Pond Farms of Hugo, Minnesota. You can enhance your wedding day, make it a day you'll always remember. Provide transportation for a wedding party of up to 4 people for a 3-hour time period. Not recommended for freeway travel, but it can be used on any city streets within a 50-mile radius of the metro area. That's item C5. Item C6 is a telephone airplane valued at $135 from Northern Telecom Incorporated of Nashville, Tennessee. The perfect phone for your child's bedroom. This airplane-shaped phone is in yellow and orange and has a 7-foot line cord and bell volume control. Built to do telephone company specifications, this phone is both practical and a real conversation piece. So that's item C6. Now Jay's going to recap the items for us.
No problem. On the C board, item C1 was the calculator with the donor value of $80 from First Federal Savings and Loan of Minneapolis. Item C2, the Chronosphere vase, I guess, and that is a donor value of $75 from Phyllis Murray Showrooms of Minneapolis. Item C3, the woven silk jacket, a $75 donor value from Chimney House Antiques of St. Paul. Item C4, the Big Duke pickup, $27 donor value from Tonka Toys out in Mound. And item C5, the horse-drawn wedding carriage, $325 donor value from Meadow Pond Farms of Hugo. And our final item on the C board was the telephone airplane with a donor value of $135 from Northern Telecom Incorporated of Nashville, Tennessee. Those are the items on the C board. Our phone number is 644-2000 if you'd like to make a bid. And now with a man who's very familiar to Action Auction viewers is Patrick O'Brien. He's in Studio B. Now Patrick has been here many times at Action Auction helping out, and he's an advisor at the University of Minnesota in Fine Arts and Humanities, and he also teaches French. Now with the daily specials and the big board items, here's Patrick in Studio B.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you all. The first thing we'd like to do is to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated for underwriting today's daily special board items. And let's take a look at some of the new items that are on the Dane Bosworth daily special board. Item D1 is a potting table valued at $500 from Family Handyman Magazine in St. Paul. For the gardener, a hardwood potting table. It has a 54 by 24 inch working surface that's enclosed on sides and back. 2 shelves hold all of your materials. An attached fluorescent light and hanging back make it ideal for your most delicate plants. That's item D1. Item D2 is a water conditioner valued at $600 from the Ecodyne Corporation in St. Paul. This is the newest and best of water softeners on the market today. Its internal computer controls and reads the quality of the water passing through and regenerates only when it's needed, not on a regularly scheduled basis. During your vacation, it won't regenerate at all, saving salts and prolonging the life of its ion exchange resin. This variable reserve feature guarantees highest quality mineral-free water every time you open the tap. That's item D2. Item D3 is videotaping service for up to 8 hours, including setup and takedown. Now this is valued at $500 and it's been donated by the Blue Fire Video Creations Corporation of Edina. Have your next event videotaped. Anniversaries, family sporting events, personal messages, or a small wedding and reception with arrangements made beforehand. You provide the 2 hours of tape and Blue Fire Video Creations will provide the service, and that's within a 25-mile radius of the IDS tower. Those are the first 3 items on the daily special board today. If you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bid on a daily special item, call these operators here at 644-1555. That number again is 644-1555, and they will assist you. And now it's time to go back over to Studio A.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick O'Brien. The phones could certainly be a lot more busy than they are over on this side. Our volunteers from the Pillsbury Company and some other volunteers as well. They're waiting for your calls. The last leg of Action Auction 82, bid often and bid high. A couple of business items to get out of the way here. This is an auction with reserve. Now, that means we reserve the right to withhold from sale any item for which the bidding has not reached at least 1/2 of the posted retail price. We also reserve the right, in our discretion, to sell an item below this reserve price. If you bid over the retail value of any auction item, you'll receive a selection of overbid items. Today's overbid items include Totino's pizza coupons from Pillsbury, of course, Shower Mate from Minnetonka Incorporated, and also today you'll receive a Gulden restaurant coupon. The man who is holding down the auction block today from WLOL, Jay Philpot, and what do you have for us, Jay?
Okay. Thank you, Mike. We'll give you a 2-minute warning now. You have 2 minutes to make your final high bids on the K board. 644-2000 is the number to call. Close the K board in 2 minutes. Now with me is a brand new auctioneer. She is Mary Ellen Jenks, and she has been with Pillsbury for quite a while with some new merchandise now on the T board.
Okay, the first item is a weight reduction program with a value of $80 from the Diet Centers. Diet Centers' medically approved program is easy to follow. You're guided every day and every step of the way by a trained nutrition counselor who has gone through Diet Center's reducing program herself. The secret of Diet Center's success is a chewable, totally natural vitamin supplement that eliminates hunger, including that craving for sweets. This certificate for $80 is good at all St. Paul locations and Eden Prairie, Forest Lake, and Stillwater. Bid high and lose those unwanted pounds fast and quick. Item number 2 is a certificate for 2 lampshades with a donor value of $52 from Robertson Bankin Lampshades on Arcade Street in St. Paul, Minnesota. You can choose from any of their 20 colors. The dimensions of the lampshades are up to 17 inches at the bottom diameter. The material is parchment or burlap. Replace your old lampshades now. Robertson Bankin specializes in homemade parchment lampshades in many sizes, colors, and patterns. Each shade has a cut design of flowers, leaves, or wildlife. The end effect is a pleasing contrast of light and shadow. That's a certificate for 2 lampshades from Robertson Bankin Lampshades, 1014 Arcade Street in St. Paul. And for best fit, you should bring your lamp in. Item number 3 is a 1-hour consultation in landscape design with a donor value of $125 from Opus 2 Landscapes at 1709 East 81st Street in Lino Lakes, Minnesota. Opus 2 is a complete landscape service, beginning with the very first stages of planning, development, and providing project construction and management. Develop a focal point, hide a poor view, or complement a house or building. Let us hear for a good high bid for this quality design service. Item number 4 is dog training with a donor value of $50. Animal Inn West, with the address as Humane Society, 845 Meadow Lane in Golden Valley, Minnesota, is offering this one. Learn how to train your dog. This certificate offers training in dog obedience for beginners through advanced field training. Item number 5 is 1 year of lawn care, worth $150 from Minnesota Turf, 9730 North 37th Place in Minneapolis. If it gets harder and harder by July and August to weed, sprinkle, and mow your lawn, why not relax and let the experts take care of it for you? Minnesota Turf is offering a certificate worth $150 for 1 year of lawn care. And finally, item number 6. 1,000 square feet of 1.5-inch polystyrene ply foam with a donor value of $275 from the MacArthur Company, 2400 Wycliffe Street in St. Paul, Minnesota. Take care of insulation for next winter today. This certificate is for insulation of an average basement or of your residence. 1,000 square feet of 1.5-inch polystyrene ply foam insulation. It does not include installation of the insulation.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary Ellen. Recapping the T-board this afternoon, item T1 was the weight reduction program from Diet Centers with an $80 donor value. Item T2, a certificate for 2 lampshades with a donor value of $52 from Robertson Bank and Lampshades of St. Paul. Item T3 was the 1-hour consultation and landscape design service with a donor value of $125 from Opus 2 Landscapes. Item T4, the dog training with a donor value of $50 from Animal Inn west of Golden Valley. And item T5, 1 year of lawn care from Minnesota Turf with a donor value of $150. Finally, item T6 on the T-board, 1,000 square feet of 1.5 polystyrene ply foam insulation, and that's with a donor value of $275 from MacArthur Company of St. Paul. That wraps up our T-board. 644-2000 is the number for your bids. Now back over to WCCO Television's Mike Walcher.
All right, thank you very much, Jay. And we would like to thank Prom Catering for the use of their mobile kitchen today. And we also like to thank the St. Paul Candy and Tobacco for supplying candy to our volunteers this day. And we'd like to thank our volunteer telephone operators from Pillsbury, from Naval Reserve Public Affairs Unit 916, from the Twin Cities chapter of the National Association of Railroad Businesswomen, from Delta Kappa Gamma, and from Aqua Jesters. Let's hear it. Way to go. Give yourselves a hand, phone operators. All right, now we'll take you over to Board A to see what items are going up next on the auction block. Jay?
Okay, we have a new table of merchandise here on Board A that we'll be getting to in just a moment with an auctioneer that's do a very fine job for you. 644-2000 is the telephone number here at Action Auction. We're in our final day of the auction, and we hope you'll stay with us at least through the afternoon, into the evening, and possibly even into the wee hours of tomorrow morning. We'll be here quite a ways into the morning hours. So if you would like to pick up some fine merchandise, perhaps for a graduation gift or a birthday gift, just a nice summertime gift, whatever, this is the place. 644-2000 is the number. I believe we are going to be closing the C-board in just 2 minutes now. You have 2 more minutes for your final high bids on the C-board at 644-2000. And now also we have some more merchandise on Board A. Coming up in a moment, we'll have somebody come out here and give that to you in just a moment. I'd like to let you know that we do appreciate your patronage here at Channel 2. We enjoy the fact that you support public television here in the Twin Cities, because this is one of the finer cities in America, I think. I mean, that's why I live here, but I think it's one of the finer cities in America, and we all do our part here to make it a better place to live, and public television helps us out in that respect. So if we could get our auctioneer, we'll have a look at some new merchandise on Board A. I think everybody back there is just kind of relaxing and cooling off after maybe just the first half of the weekend that they were very active. Pardon? Everybody around here, we have quite a few people over on the other side from Pillsbury answering telephones today that are all dressed up, and we have all kinds of people ready for a good time today on Action Auction. Bob Blau is back with us now, and he'll have some new merchandise for us on the A-board.
All right, the first item is a man's Timex Marathon watch, valued at $50 and donated by Miller's Pharmacy of Como Avenue in St. Paul. It's a beautiful Timex Marathon watch, digital readout, black face with gold rim and black hands. Item number 2 is a 14-karat gold pendant, valued at $100 and donated by a friend of KTCA. It's a heart-shaped gold pendant with an 18-inch chain. 24 KT is stenciled into the pendant. The third item is a Kodak 960 camera, valued at $75. The donor is Eastman Kodak of Rochester, New York. Keep a record of the fun you have this summer. Here is an easily carried Kodak instant color camera with a 3-year warranty. Item number 4, new car buff and shine polymer paint and chrome sealant, valued at $100 and donated by Bloomington Honda Buff and Shine Center at Humboldt Avenue in Bloomington, Minnesota. Protect your car's finish from the ravages of our notorious Minnesota weather. This buff and shine polymer paint and chrome sealant creates a tough, clear finish that locks out weather damage. It's a permanent finish that withstands many washings, even mechanical car washings. Keep your car in great shape with this buff and shine treatment from Bloomington Honda. Our fifth item includes guest towels and a bell pull, valued at $80. from the donator is Round Bobbin Sewing Center on West Carpenter Avenue in St. Paul. 2 matching guest towels worked into intricate hardinger embroidery. Cotton fabric. The bell pull is 2.5 inches by 29 inches, also hardinger. Cut work, Norwegian embroidery. Truly 3 beautiful handmade articles for use as gifts. The 6th item includes landscape timbers, valued at $255 and donated by the Weyerhaeuser Company of Emerald Avenue in St. Paul. If you're thinking of landscaping the back 40, here's a way to start with 49 pieces of landscaping timber.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Now we'll review the items of some of this new merchandise here on the A board. Item A1 was the Timex Marathon watch, the men's watch, $55 donor value from Miller's Pharmacy of St. Paul. Item A2 was the 14-karat pendant from a friend of KTCA, and the donor value $100. Item A3, the Kodak 960 camera with a donor value of $75 from Eastman Kodak. Item A4, the new car Buff and Shine polymer paint and chrome sealant. $100 donor value from Bloomington Honda Buff and Shine Center in Bloomington. And item A5, the guest towels and the ball pull, I guess that's what that says. $80 donor value from Round Bobbin Sewing Center of St. Paul. And item A6, the landscape timber, $255 donor value from Weyerhaeuser Company. 644-2000 is our telephone number. Now we go back to Mike Walcher on Action Auction Central.
All right, thank you very much, Jay. And we have our first list of high bids in for the K board that we opened up at the top of the hour at around 1 o'clock. Item K1, you'll recall, was the silkscreen pumpkins donated by Stanley Kronick. A high bid received on this one of $50. By the way, while I'm reading the high bids, you're going to be seeing the names of businesses and individuals who have donated services used to produce this auction. We really appreciate this support, and we would like very heartily to thank these fine donors. Now, item K2, you recall, the St. Paul print. That donated by the Minnesota Artists Gallery. A high bid received $35. K3, the watercolor barns from the Minnesota Artists Gallery. A high bid of $25. The Guthrie Walker lithograph was K4 by the Minnesota Artists Gallery. A high bid received of $23 on that item. K5, the ink, tempera, and watercolor sunset variation from the Minnesota Artists Gallery. A high bid of $25 on that one. And K6, the serigraph Serene River by Select Design Incorporated. A high bid received of $40. And way to go. Nice start, I think, for this afternoon's bidding. Now, let's go back to Patrick O'Brien in Studio B.
Thank you, Mike. Again, we'd like to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated for underwriting today's Daily Special Board. And we have 3 more very, very interesting items on the Daily Special Board that we'd like to show you now. Item D4 is a wonderful item. It's it's lessons in karate from the Karate Institute in Bloomington, Minnesota. If you are one of those curious persons wanting to know more about the art of self-defense, win this bid and let Channel 2 help you discover what karate is all about. Once enrolled with Karate Institute, you'll be on your way to earning the much-desired black belt. Sound exciting? The popular sport of karate is an excellent activity, not only to keep your physical self in condition, but also to keep your reflexes sharp, and one must be sharp these days. Item D5 is a Barca Lounger recliner valued at $500 from Hanley's Furniture. This is a white vinyl recliner, and it's a genuine Barca Lounger. It ensures proper body support and unmatched comfort in all positions from the upright to the full recline. The design leadership and quality construction make Barca Lounger one of America's most comfortable seating units. And item D6, and this is, boy, I think I may bid on this one myself. It's 3-day charter of a yacht valued at $500 from Sailboats Incorporated in Excelsior, Minnesota. To all the folks who love to sail, this one's for you. 3 full days on your own C&C 27. That's a 27-foot sailing yacht, fully equipped with auxiliary power, of course. This is a bareboat cruise, so you are your own captain and crew. The boat sleeps 5 adults, and all you bring are your own bedding and the provisions. You may leave from Bayfield, Superior, or Marinette, Wisconsin, and cover as much of Lake Superior as you'd like to for any 3-day period this summer that you can arrange with Sailboats Incorporated. Good luck. Smooth sailing, and away you go. Now, if you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bid on any of these daily special items, call these operators at 644-1555, and they'll be glad to assist you. We'd like to thank our volunteer telephone operators from the Pillsbury Company and our own individual KTCA phone volunteers who are busy taking your bids here this afternoon. And now it's time to go back to Mike Walcher and Jay Philpot in Studio A.
Thank you very much, Patrick. We have 2 minutes now. 2 minutes for the T-board. We'll have final bidding at 644-2000 on the T-board. Now the new table of merchandise on the K-board from FM 104 KJJO. This is Joe Aho with some new information, new merchandise for us.
Thank you, Jay. Starting out on the K-board with item K1 is an astrological reading valued at $50. The donor firm is Minnesota Astrological Project on Penn Avenue South in Minneapolis. Do the stars hold the key to your future? Explore the fascinating realm of the world's oldest science. The Minnesota Astrological Society will open the door to your life with a personal reading. That's item K1. Item K2 is 10 games of bowling, valued at $10, donated by Rose Bowl Lane on Snelling Avenue North in Roseville. Come on, you know you could use the exercise, and think of all the fun you'll have. That's item K2, 10 games of bowling. Item K3 is a $50 gift certificate, a merchandise gift certificate. The donor firm is St. Marie's Pipe and Tobacco Shop in the American National Bank building here in St. Paul. Grab a good book, settle back into your favorite easy chair, and enjoy pipe smoking pleasure. Relaxing after a hard day's work or contemplating your special dream for the future, a pipe and tobacco can add a mellow touch to your life. That's item K3. Item K4 is 2 tickets to a performance of Ashes, Ashes, We All Fall Down. The value of that is $20. The donor firm is At the Foot of the Mountain in Minneapolis, and this is a 3-part ditto. The 3 highest bidders will each get one of these. Enjoy the new production at Foot of the Mountain Theater, a ritual drama about nuclear madness and the denial of death. That's item K4. Item K5 is dinner for 4 at the Loft. $35 is the value of that. The donor firm is Valley Restaurants on Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis, and this is a 2-part ditto. The 2 highest bidders will each get one of these. Take yourself and 3 other of your favorite friends out to a fine dinner and good time in a pleasant atmosphere at the new Loft in the Valley Restaurant. That's item K5. Last item on the K-board, item K6, is a pair of theater tickets valued at $10, donated to us by Harmar Theaters in the Harmar Mall in St. Paul. This is a 5-part ditto. Now the 5 highest bidders will each get one, and the next time he or she says, hey, let's go to the movies, you'll be all set to go, and you won't have to stand in line for tickets. That's item K6, pair of theater tickets, and now Jay Philpot of WLOL-FM is going to recap these items for us. Jay?
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. On the K-board, item K1 was an astrological reading with a donor value of $50 from the Minnesota Astrological Project of Minneapolis. Item K2, the 10 games of bowling for $10 from Rose Bowl Lanes of Roseville. On item K3, a $50 gift certificate in merchandise from St. Marie's Pipe and Tobacco Shop of St. Paul in the American National Bank building. Item K4 is a pair of tickets to a performance of Ashes, Ashes, We All Fall Down. A $20 donor value from At the Foot of the Mountain. And it's a 3-part ditto, so the 3 highest bidders at 644-2000 each get one. Item K5, the dinner for 4 at the Loft with a $35 donor value from Valley Restaurants of Minneapolis. This is a 2-part ditto, so if you're one of the 2 highest bidders, you'll receive that as well. And in a 5-part ditto here is item K6. Item K6, a pair of theater tickets from Harmar Theaters in the Harmar Mall in St. Paul. If you're one of the 5 highest bidders on that, at 644-2000, you'll get that, item K6. And now back to the main man at this afternoon's action auction, Mike Walcher from Channel 4.
All right, thank you very much, Jay. And we have another board closed out with the high bids on the C board that we opened a little while ago. Item C1, you'll recall, the calculator from First Federal Savings and Loan, a high bid received of $62. The vase from Phyllis Murray Showroom, a high bid on that one of $41. While I'm reading these high bids, you're going to be seeing the names of businesses and individuals who have donated services used to produce this auction. We really appreciate this support, and we would like to thank these donors. Now, back item C3, the woven silk jacket from the Chimney House Antiques, a high bid received on this one of $35. Item C4, the Big Duke pickup from Tonka Toys for the child in the family, a high bid of $23. The horse-drawn wedding carriage from Meadow Pond Farms, a high bid received on that item of $96. And the telephone airplane from Northern Telecom Incorporated drew a high bid this afternoon of $65. Thank all of you for calling in, bid high and bid often. Now, let's take you back to Studio B.
Thank you, Mike. Again, we'd like to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated, who is underwriting today's Daily Special Board. Now let's review the following Daily Special items. The first Daily Special item we opened with today was the potting table from Family Handyman magazine. For the gardener, it is a hardwood potting table that has a 54 by 24-inch working surface that's enclosed on the sides and back. 2 shelves hold all of your materials so that you can get at them conveniently. An attached fluorescent light and hanging rack make it an ideal item for starting your most delicate plants. The current bid on that is now $100. The second item is a water conditioner valued at $600, which has been donated by the Ecodyne Corporation. This is the newest and best of water softeners on the market today. Its internal computer control reads the quality of the water passing through and regenerates it only when it's needed, not on a regularly scheduled basis. During your vacation, it won't regenerate at all, saving salt and prolonging the life of its ion exchange resin. This variable reserve feature guarantees highest quality, mineral-free water every time you open the tap. And the current bid on that now is $200. Item D3 is videotaping service for up to 8 hours, including set up and takedown, valued at $500 from Blue Fire Video Creations. Have your next event videotaped, anniversaries, family sporting events, personal messages, or a small wedding and reception with arrangements made beforehand. You provide the 2 hours of tape, and Blue Fire Video Creations will provide the service within a 25-mile radius of the IDS tower. And the current bid on that is $175. Now, if you'd like to bid on any of this merchandise, or if you have any questions about it, please call our operators here at the studio at 644-1555, and they'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. And now it's time to go back to Studio A, Mike Walcher and Jay Philpot.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be closing off the A board in just 2 minutes now. You have 2 minutes for your final high bids for merchandise on the A board, 644-2000. Now we have some new merchandise on the C board, and Mary Ellen Jenks from Pillsbury is with us.
The first item, C1, is a phonograph cartridge for a turntable valued at $100 from Audio Innovations, 7010 France Avenue South in Edina. It's an AKG cartridge model P8E. The item number C2 is a yard design valued at $100 from Greenscapes, 7400 Cedar Avenue South in Richfield, Minnesota. Is your yard in need of updating or redesigning? To help you, how about a scale drawing designed to suit your needs? Whether it involves planting areas, retaining walls, decks, or patios or fences from Greenscapes. Item C3 is a table for 8 at the Minnesota Music Awards Banquet. Its value is $75. The donor is City Pages, which is a post office box in Minneapolis. Minnesota Music Awards will present the Yammies Awards to area music leaders on Monday evening, May 24th at the Prom Center. Be part of this festive gala event. This is Minnesota's own version of the Grammys, but better because you can be a part of it. For this event, a high overbid would be really super. Item number C4 is a Bell & Howell movie camera. Its donor is National Camera. Here is one of Bell & Howell's finest small movie cameras. This would make a handsome graduation or anniversary gift. Better still, bid on it for yourself and start keeping a record of all those important occasions. A pistol grip can be ordered from National Camera. Item C4. The next item, C5, is a 10-week dance course with a value of $50 from Downtown Dance Center at 250 East 5th Street in St. Paul. In these days of formality and elegance, wouldn't it feel good to be graceful? The Dance Center will help you with jazz or modern, or maybe you've always loved ballet. Item number C6 is the rental of a videotape valued at $25 from Video Entertainment Incorporated, 323 West Lake Street in Minneapolis. This is part of a two-part ditto. The two highest bidders will each get one. You can rent these videotapes or a VHS or a beta tape for 3 days. There's no clubs, no membership involved, and they're in various price ranges. There's thousands of tapes to choose from coming soon. You can choose in just a little while, even Golden Pond or Star Wars. So there's 2 tapes, so we need 2 highest bids.
Oh, Mary Ellen, thank you very much. Recapping some of the items on the C-board this afternoon was item C1, the phono cartridge for a turntable with a donor value of $100. That comes to us from Audio Innovations from Edina. Item C2 is a $100 donor value for yard design from Greenscapes of Richfield. Item C3, this sounds like a lot of fun, a table for 8 at the Minnesota Music Awards Banquet, which is a donor value of $75 from City Pages. The Yammies will be presented on Monday night, and you can get yourself a good table. C4 is the Bell & Howell $150, let's see, National Camera donated the Bell & Howell camera for a donor value of $150. That's item C4. Item C5, the 10-week dance course with a donor value of $50 from Downtown Dance Center Incorporated of St. Paul. And item C6, rentals of videotapes for $25 donor value each from Video Entertainment Incorporated. That is, by the way, a 2-part ditto, and the 2 highest bidders for that merchandise will each get it. At 644-2000, good luck on your bidding. Let's hear those phones ringing. We got to keep our people busy tonight. Back over to Action Auction Central with Mike Walcher.
All right, thank you very much, Jay. And we have here a list of winners. These are people who are the high bidders on the T-board. They did what you should be doing, calling in, bidding high, and bidding often on these fine items this afternoon at Action Auction. Okay, item T1 was the weight reduction program from Diet Centers. It drew a high bid of $50. And while I'm reading these high bids, you'll be seeing the names of businesses and individuals who have donated services used to produce this auction, and we really appreciate this support. We would like very much to thank these fine donors. Okay, item T2, the certificate for 2 lampshades from Robert & Bank in Lampshades, drew a high bid of $35. T3, 1-hour consultation and landscape design from Opus 2 Landscapes, a high bid of $41 on that item. T4, dog training from Animal Inn West. That got a high bid of $20. 1 year of lawn care from Minnesota Turf, a high bid of $100 on that item. And item T6 was 1,000 square feet of 1.5-inch polystyrene ply foam insulation from the MacArthur Company, and a high bid of $100 received on that fine item. Thank you all for calling in and bidding, and keep these operators busy. The phone's a little bit silent as we go into this last day of Action Auction 82. Now, over to Patrick O'Brien in Studio B.
Thank you, Mike. The auction's success depends on good community support. This year, businesses, unions, and individuals have built a house for the auction to sell. Here is a videotape to tell you a little more about the Dream House.
The 1982 Dream House began at this empty lot at 466 Catherine Lane in the Evergreen Shores development of Shoreview in September 1981. The lot was made available to KTCA by Clyde Rabine of Northway Construction Company. The original architectural plan was created by Dick Schaefer of Larson Rova Associates Architects Planners in Minnetonka. This unique plan utilizes natural sunlight as an important source of energy to help heat the Dream House. The passive solar design combines heat-absorbing materials and heat storage areas for maximum energy efficiency. The Cecil Company served as general contractor for the Dream House, with services provided by Rick Perry and Larry Elm. Before construction began, Soil Exploration Company performed a soil analysis to determine the soil and groundwater conditions of the lot. This information was used to determine the placement of the Dream House. The excavation for the Dream House was supplied by Glenn Rabine Excavating. The strong and level poured concrete foundation was completed by the skilled workmen from Poured Basements Incorporated. The basement of the Dream House will stay dry with specially formulated damp-proofing materials and labor provided by Kramer and Davis Incorporated. The flexible tubing and drain tile waterproofing system in the basement floor was supplied by the proven professionals at Waterproofing by Experts. To conserve precious energy, high-density Raylight foundation insulation was applied to the exterior basement walls and was provided by Minnesota Diversified Products Incorporated and North Central Construction Supply Company. 750 tons of sand were used for backfill on the lot and came from Arsenal Sand and Gravel, which has served the construction industry for 25 years. The Dream House reflects the latest in contemporary design, quality products, and services available in Minnesota. And we would like to thank everyone who helped to make this Dream House a reality.
We are now accepting bids on the Dream House. If you're interested in obtaining more information, call us at 644-1555. The Dream House will be open for viewing today until 5 p.m. And if you need directions for how to get to the Dream House, please call the operators here at 644-1555. We are accepting offers now. Please call us if you're interested. And now we're going back over to Studio A to Mike Walcher and Jay Philpot.
Thank you very much, Patrick. We have now a 2-minute warning, 2 more minutes for bidding on the K board. If you'd like to make a final high bid at 644-2000, you have 2 minutes, and we want these phones to ring. These people are ready to go. We're ready to take your calls today. Now we have Bob, let's see, yeah, that's right, Bob Blau back with us from Golden Valley. He's a model for Pop and Fresh, and with new merchandise on the T board.
First item is a silk flower arrangement valued at $85. The donator is Richfield Flowers on Lindale and 494. Bring view tropics to your home. Warm island tones and bright tropical colors beckon one into a room that features this silk arrangement. Touch them, they're real. Foliages, silk flowers in a basket filled with moss and branches. Great for an enclosed patio or a large cabin dining area. Our second item is a beginner's obedience class, 12 weeks, valued at $60, donated by K9 All-Breed Obedience Training on St. Francis Boulevard in Anoka, Minnesota. Do yourself and your neighbors a favor. Train both yourself and your dog and enjoy it. A third item is a Big Duke pickup truck, valued at $27, donated by Tonka Toys in Mound, Minnesota. Let your child use his imagination with his Tonka Mighty Roughneck pickup and Big Duke, guaranteed to give hours of fun. Our next item is a stereo as-you-go sound system valued at $60 and donated by Intertrade Incorporated. Oh, I'm sorry, NC, on West 73rd Street in Minneapolis. For your ears only, AM or FM stereo anywhere you go. Just slip the Sportsman receiver in your pocket or clip it to your belt. Plug in the 2-ounce stereo headphones and you've got it. Listen to your favorite music wherever you are. The next item is a banjo valued at $110 and donated by Park Music Center on West Highway 7 in St. Louis Park. 5-string Chicago banjo with resonator. It's never too late to take up an instrument and think of all the hours of enjoyment you will have with this banjo from Park Music Center. If you bid high on this item in no time at all, you'll be playing dueling banjos like Roy Clark. Item 6 is a pyro cream dishes, 1 set, valued at $150 from Palm Brothers on Nicollet Avenue in Minneapolis. The set includes 8 cups and saucers, 8 salad plates, 8 dinner plates, all crafted by Corning. Simple elegance will make any meal appear more tasteful.
Thank you very much, Bob. Recapping the items on the T-board this afternoon, item T1 was the silk flower arrangement from Richfield Flowers, an $85 donor value. Item T2, the beginner's obedience classes at 12 weeks by K9 All-Breed Obedience Training School, a $60 donor value on that. Item T3 is the Big Duke pickup with a $27 donor value that comes to us from Tonka Toys of Mound. With a 2-part ditto, that means the 2 highest bidders on that will get it. Item T4 is the stereo as-you-go sound system with a $60 donor value from Intertrade Incorporated of Minneapolis. Item T5, the banjo, $110 donor value from Park Music Center of St. Louis Park. And finally on the T-board, item T6, the pyro ceramic dishes, 1 set that is, $150 donor value from Palm Brothers of Minneapolis. 644-2000 is our number. We'll go back over to Mike Walcher now for an announcement from Action Auction Central.
All right, thank you very much, Jay Philpot. Appreciate that. And the phone's starting to pick up a little bit, and appreciate your calls and your bids on this last day of Action Auction 82. Okay, we have the winners now on the A board that we announced a little while ago, and while I'm reading these high bids, you're going to be seeing the names of some businesses and individuals who have helped to keep all of the auction volunteers well fed. We appreciate this support, which aids, of course, in the success of the auction and keeps all of us going. All right, item A1 was the Timex Man's Watch from Miller's Pharmacy. A high bid on this item received $35. A2, the 14-carat pendant from a friend of KTCA. A high bid received of $75. Item A3, the Kodak 960 camera from Eastman Kodak. A high bid received on that item of $45. A4, the new car Buff and Shine and polymer paint and chrome sealant from Bloomington Honda and Shine Center. That's a mouthful. $50 the high bid on that item. A5 guest towels from the Round Bobbin Sewing Center. A high bid received on that one of $29. A6 landscape timber from the Weyerhaeuser Company. A high bid on that fine item, $177. So call often, bid high, bid often today on Action Auction. Now over to Jay Philpot. I think we're going to close out one board and open up another.
That's right. The board we're going to close out is the C board. You have 2 minutes now to get your final high bids in at 644-2000 for merchandise on the C board. And with me from KJJO, KJO Radio is Joe. Joe, did they name the station after you or what?
I don't know. It's possible.
It sure fits in nicely. Joe Aho, who has some new merchandise for us now on the A board. Take it away.
Thank you, Jay. Item A1, now this entire A board is comprised of gift certificates. Item A1 is antique or modern clock repair, valued at $70. The donor firm is Harvey H. Gloman Clock Repair on 87th Avenue Northeast in Blaine. Harvey H. Gloman, a state-certified instructor in clock repair, says most clocks can be repaired. Now is the time to get your clock ticking. Harvey Gloman is giving $70 towards the repair, cleaning, and lubricating of your antique or modern mantle, wall, anniversary, cuckoo, or grandfather clock. With proper care, your clock can become a family heirloom. That's item A1. Item A2 is dry cleaning, valued at $25 by Phelan Cleaners on Maryland Avenue in St. Paul. Now this is a two-part ditto. The two highest bidders will each get one. This certificate is worth $25 worth of dry cleaning at any of their stores. Phelan Cleaners donated that. That's item A2. Item A3 is a gift certificate for merchandise or repair service. $25 is the value of that. The donor firm is Bob's Shoe Repair, located in the Wayzata Bay Center in Wayzata. This is a two-part ditto. The two highest bidders will each get one. A full-service shoe repair shop, the personal type of shop you remember as a kid. Mends everything but a broken heart. But give them time, they're working on it. That's a $25 gift certificate for Bob's Shoe Repair in the Wayzata Bay Center, item A3. Item A4 is swimming pool opening. That's to prepare your pool for summer now. $75 is the value of that gift certificate. The donor firm is Waterway Pool Service on Olson Memorial Highway in Golden Valley. Have you a swimming pool that needs servicing for the summer? Save yourself time and energy and have it done for you. $75 gift certificate, that's item A4. Item A5 is a gift certificate for paint and supplies, valued at $75 from Lathrop Paint Supply Company on Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis. Got the urge to paint? Whether you express yourself best on canvas or exterior walls, you'll find whatever you need at Lathrop's. That's a $75 gift certificate, it's item A5. Item A6 is a retirement planning seminar valued at $100 by Mount Sinai's Stages Project is a donor firm for that. Has your company considered assisting the transition of employees nearing retirement? Don't allow that next stage in the worker's life to become a traumatic experience. That's item A6. And now Jay Philpot of WLOL will recap these items on the A board for us. Jay?
Thank you very much. Thanks, Joe. Recapping the items on the A board is item A1, the antique or modern clock repair with a donor value of $70 from Harvey H. Gloman Clock Repair of Blaine. Item A2 is the dry cleaning with a donor value of $25 from Phelan Cleaners of St. Paul. That's a two-part ditto, which means that the two highest bidders each get one. Also with a two-part ditto is item A3, the merchandise or repair service, $25 donor value from Bob's Repair Service, Bob's Shoe Repair of Wayzata, a two-part ditto there. Item A4, the swimming pool opening. They'll prepare your pool for summer. Of course, you already have to have a swimming pool for this item, but I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that would use a service of this type. $75 the donor value from Waterway Pool Service of Golden Valley. Item A5, paint and supplies in the amount of $75 from Lathrop Paint Supply Company of Minneapolis. And item A6, the retirement planning seminar, $100 donor value from Mount Sinai Stage Projects in Minneapolis. Our phone number is 644-2000. Call us up, give us a high bid on this Saturday afternoon, and we'll go back over now to Studio B.
Thank you, Jay. Here's a special offer for all of our Action Auction viewers. Ray Whitson a nationally known wildlife artist from Blaine, Minnesota, has created an oil painting of a red-shouldered hawk with red forest background. If you would like a signed and numbered print of this painting, call 644-1555 and our phone operator will take your order. The prints will be mailed out after June 15th. Each print is valued at $85 and is a color press printing. There are only 580 signed and numbered prints available, and each print is on 80-weight handmade Karma paper. As soon as the 580 prints are sold out, a drawing will be held. The winner of the drawing will receive the 30 by 40-inch original oil painting. Everyone who purchases a print will be eligible to win this beautiful original oil painting valued at $6,000. Remember that you can use your Visa or MasterCharge card to charge your print order. Call our operators at 644-1555 for more information, and please remember that you are only eligible for the drawing if you purchase your print through KTCA Channel 2 auction. We'd like to thank our volunteer telephone operators from the Pillsbury Company, as well as the individual KTCA volunteers who are busy taking your telephone bids here in Studio B this afternoon. And now it's time to go back over to Jay Philpot and Mike Walcher in Studio A.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick O'Brien. And we now have the high bids, the winners on the K board that we closed a little while ago. While I'm reading these high bids, you're going to be seeing the names of some businesses and some individuals who have made cash donations to this year's action auction. We really appreciate their help, and of course, their cold cash. All right, the winners on the K board. K1 was the astrological reading from the Minnesota Astrological Project, a high bid received of $25. K2, 10 games of bowling from Rose Bowl Lane, and a high bid of $15 received on that one. The gift certificate from St. Marie's Pipe and Tobacco Shop, a high bid received $35. Tickets for Ashes from At the Foot of the Mountain, a high bid received of $15. That's right, give us a wave. Dinner at the Loft from the Valley Restaurants, $35 the high bid on that one. And theater tickets from Harmar Theaters, a high bid received of $9. We thank all of you who were the winners on that K board. Now, let's go back over to Jay Philpot.
We have some new merchandise to open up for you, but before we do that, we're going to close one board. We'll be closing the T board in just 2 minutes. Our phone number is 644-2000. 2 minutes now to give us your final high bids on the T board. And now, Mary Ellen is back with us, and we'll have some new merchandise on the K board.
The first item, K number 1, is a Big Duke pickup with a value of $27 from Tonka Toys in Mound, Minnesota. Let your child use his imagination with this Tonka Mighty Roughneck pickup and Big Duke. It's guaranteed to give hours of fun. That's K1. K2 is a Mickey Mouse decorator phone with a value of $125 from Collins Communications on Lafayette in St. Paul, Minnesota. What can we say about Mickey Mouse that hasn't already been said? Now he's ready to hold your phone till you're ready to use it, knowing that he himself is already a conversation piece. For family room, den or recreation room, or for your teenager, this decorator phone is at your beck and call. So pick up your phone and call for a phone today. Your bid may be the best call you ever made. That's the Mickey Mouse phone, item K2. Item K3 is a lamp valued at $75 from JJ Place on West Wheelock in St. Paul. The color is brown and it's a ceramic material. It's a beautiful handmade hurricane lamp. Delicately painted with a floral design, it will give a touch of elegance to any room in your house. That's item K3. Item K4 is a car stereo system with a donor value of $90 from Champion Auto Stores. Here's the complete 40-watt car stereo system. It includes AM/FM stereo with a cassette player, 40-watt amplifier, and a pair of 5 1/4-inch coaxial speakers. So outfit your vehicle in stereo. That's item K4. Item K5 is from the House of Book of Bargains, and this is a 2-part ditto, so the 2 highest bidders will each get one. The donor value is $25, and it's from Bargain Book Incorporated, 1885 University Avenue in St. Paul. Here's your chance to get free items such as wheel alignments, oil changes, haircuts, and pizzas. 2-for-1 bonus coupons feature meals, theater admissions, and more. These are for the Forest Lake, Wyoming, White Bear, Chisago Lake areas. If this is not your area, it's exchangeable for your own area. So their two highest bidders are needed for these two books. Item K6 is the donor value of $60 for a stereo as-you-go sound system. The donor's name is Intertrade Incorporated, 5200 West 73rd Street in Minneapolis. For your ears only, an AM radio or FM stereo anywhere you go. Just slip the Sportsman receiver in your pocket or clip it on your belt. Plug in the 2-ounce stereo headphones and you've got it. Listen to your favorite music wherever you are. That's item K6.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. Thank you very much. Recapping the items on the K board, item K1, the Big Duke pickup with a donor value of $27. That's from Tonka Toys of Mound, Minnesota, and that's a two-part ditto. The two highest bidders each received that. Item K2, the Mickey Mouse decorator phone, donor value of $125 from Collins Communications of St. Paul. The third item on the K board, item K3, lamp, from JJ Place on West Wheelock in St. Paul, had a donor value of $75. Item K4 is the car stereo system, $90 donor value from Champion Auto Stores. The fifth item on the K board is the Book of Bargains, $25 donor value from Bargain Book Incorporated of St. Paul, and that is a two-part ditto, the two highest bidders receiving those books. And item K6, the Stereo As You Go sound system with a $60 donor value from Intertrade Incorporated of Minneapolis. That wraps up our K board. Remember, our phone number, we want to hear those lines ringing, is 644-2000. Now back at Action Auction Central, here's Mike Walcher.
All right, Jay, and indeed we are hearing those lines ringing, picking up a little bit, and people wanting to become winners, high bidders, like the folks on this sheet who were the high bidders on the C board that we closed out recently. We'll go through this list here. C1, the phono cartridge for the turntable from Audio Innovations, a high bid received of $95. C2, the yard design from Greenscapes, a high bid received of $45. C3, Music Awards Banquet from City Pages, a high bid of $17 on that fine item. The Bell and Howell from National Camera, a high bid of $96. The Dance Course from the Downtown Dance Center Incorporated, a high bid of $30. Videotape Rental from Video Entertainment Incorporated, $23 received on that item. Now, if you bid over the retail value of any auction item, you'll receive a selection of overbid items. And today's overbid items include Totino's pizza coupons from Pillsbury, Shower Mate from Minnetonka Incorporated, and a Golden Restaurant coupon. So really, it's to your benefit to bid over the retail value of the item that you're interested in. Now, back to Patrick O'Brien in Studio B.
Thank you, Mike. Again, we'd like to thank the nice people at Dane Bosworth Incorporated who are underwriting today's daily special board here at KTCA. And now let's review some of the following daily special items that we've told you about earlier. Item D4 are some karate lessons from the Karate Institute in Bloomington, Minnesota. If you are one of those curious persons wanting to know more about the art of self-defense, win this bid and let Channel 2 help you discover what karate is all about. Once enrolled with the Karate Institute, you'll be well on your way to earning the much-desired black belt. Does that sound exciting? The popular sport of karate is an excellent activity, not only to keep yourself in condition, but also to keep your reflexes sharp, and one must be sharp these days. The current bid on the karate lessons is $135. Item D5 is the Barca Lounger recliner, valued at $500 from Hanley's Furniture. This genuine white vinyl recliner is a genuine Barca Lounger. It ensures proper body support and unmatched comfort in all positions from the upright through the full recline. The design leadership and quality construction make Barca Lounger one of America's most comfortable seating units, and the current bid on the recliner is $300. Item D6 is 3-day charter of a yacht valued at $500 from Sailboats Incorporated in Excelsior. To all of you folks who love to sail, this is the one for you. 3 full days on your own C&C 27, a 27-foot sailing yacht, fully equipped and with auxiliary power, of course. This is a bareboat cruise, so you are your own captain and crew. The boat sleeps 5 adults, and all you have to bring along are your own bedding and provisions. You may leave from Bayfield, Superior, or Marinette, Wisconsin, and cover as much of Lake Superior as you'd like for any 3-day period this summer that you can arrange with Sailboats Incorporated. Good luck, smooth sailing, and away you go. The current bid on the 3-day yacht charter is $400. If you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bid on any of these daily special items, please call our operators at 644-1555, and they'll be more than happy to assist you. And now it's time to go back to Mike Walcher and Jay Philpot in Studio A.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick O'Brien. The phone's a little bit silent now. Please bid often and bid high on this last day of Action Auction 1982. We now pause for station identification. This is KTCA TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Channel 2. Let's hear it. Back we are. Our second hour of this last day of Action Auction 82. Our phone volunteers doing an excellent job this afternoon. We would like to take a moment here to thank today's underwriter, Pillsbury. We would like to thank our volunteer telephone operators from Pillsbury, from the Naval Reserve Public Affairs Unit 916, from the Twin Cities chapter of the National Association of Railroad Businesswomen, from Delta Kappa Gamma, and from Aqua Jesters. Let's hear it all for these fine phone volunteers. All right. Very good. You deserve a good round of applause. And please, ladies and gentlemen, keep these people busy. They're happy phone volunteers when they are busy phone volunteers. Let's now go over to Board C, and Jay Philpot's going to show us some of the items that you can be bidding on in the next few minutes.
All right, thank you, Mike. In just 2 minutes now, we'll be closing the K board. And so if you'd like to make a high bid on any of the merchandise you saw on the K board earlier, the A board. Okay, we're closing the A board, I see. So I'll go into my spiel all over again here. 644-2000 if you'd like to make a final bid on board A. We'll close in 2 minutes. And now Bob Blau is with us with some more new merchandise on the C board.
Item C1 is a 110 heavy-duty toolbox valued at $70 from Hewitt Manufacturing Company on North Wheeler Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota. This toolbox is ideal for servicemen. Drawn one-piece tote tray, 2 drawers, compound split-proof drawer slides, hip-roof style lock with padlock, metallic blue, red tray, and drawers, 20 inches by 9 inches by 9.5 inches high. Item C2 is a telephone valued at $100 and donated by Northern Telecom in Minneapolis. As a designer phone in handsome contemporary style, this one is push button in cocoa brown. FCC approved, just plug it into a jack. Item C3, stereo as-you-go sound system valued at $60, donated by Intertrade NC, West 73rd Street, Minneapolis. For your ears only, AM radio or FM stereo anywhere you go. Just slip the Sportsman receiver in your pocket or clip it on your belt, plug in the 2-ounce stereo headphones, and you've got it. Listen to your favorite music wherever you are. Item C4 is a book of bargains valued at $25, donated by Bargain Book, Inc. on University Avenue in St. Paul. By the way, this is a 2-part ditto. The 2 highest bidders will get 1 each. Here's your chance to get free items such as wheel alignments, oil changes, haircuts, and pizza. 2-for-1 bonus coupons featuring meals, theater admissions, and more. These are for the East and West Bank University and St. Paul areas. If this is not your area, they are exchangeable for such. Item C3 is an auto seat cover valued at $50, donated by Sterling Products on Oakdale Avenue in West St. Paul, Minnesota. This is a Rough Rider seat cover designed for winter and summer comfort. It's easy to install, it's a smooth fit, wrinkle-free. Start enjoying this comfort today. Item C6 is a table lamp, valued at $130, donated by Wanda Furniture Company on 27th Avenue in Minneapolis. Light up your home with this Cameo Creation table lamp of popular ginger jar style. It has 3-way lighting and a pleated coolie shade.
Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you. Recapping the items on our C board this afternoon, item C1 is the number 110 heavy-duty toolbox from Hewitt Manufacturing Company of St. Paul. Item C2 is the telephone with a $100 donor value from Northern Telecom of Minneapolis. Item C3 was the Stereo As You Go sound system with a donor value of $60 from Intertrade Incorporated of Minneapolis. Item C4, the Book of Bargains from Bargain Book Incorporated. Our donor value on that $25, and that's a two-part ditto, meaning the two highest bidders receive the item. Item C5 is the auto seat cover with a donor value of $50 from the Sterling Products Company of West St. Paul. And our final item on the C board, the table lamp with a donor value of $130 from Wander Furniture Company of Minneapolis. 644-2000, that's our telephone number. Give us a bid on any of these items on our boards this afternoon. Now we'll go over for a look at some daily specials in Studio B. Here's Patrick O'Brien.
Thank you, Jay. And I'd like to introduce my replacement here, Janelle Gabor, who's one of the production interns for Channel 2. Janelle?
Thank you. And we would like to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated, today's daily special board underwriter. And now let's review the following daily specials. Item D1, a potting table. D2, a water conditioner. And D3, the videotaping session. Item D1 is a potting table valued at $500, donated by the Family Handyman magazine. For the gardener, a hardwood potting table. It has a 54 by 24 inch working surface that's enclosed on the sides and back. 2 shelves hold all of your materials. An attached fluorescent light and hanging rack, making it ideal for starting your most delicate plants. Item D2 is the water conditioner, valued at $600 from the Ecodine Corporation. This is the newest and best of the water softeners on the market today. Its internal computer control reads the quality of the water passing through it and regenerates only when it is needed, not on a regularly scheduled basis. During your vacation, it won't regenerate at all, saving salt and prolonging the life of its ion exchange resin. This variable reserve feature guarantees highest quality, mineral-free water every time you open the tap. And finally, item D3 is a videotaping service up to 8 hours, including setup and takedown, valued at $500 from Blue Fire Video Creations. Have your next event videotaped. Anniversaries, family sporting events, personal messages, or a small wedding and reception with arrangements made beforehand. You provide the 2-hour tape, and Blue Fire Video Creations will provide the service within a 25-mile radius of the IDS tower. If you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bid on the daily special items, call our phone operators at 644-1555 and they will assist you. And now it's time to go back over to Studio A.
All right, thank you very much, Studio B. We have the high bids, the winners on the T-board that we closed out recently. We'd like to announce those. The silk flowers from Richfield Flowers went for a high bid of $57. And while I'm reading the high bids, you'll be seeing the names of some businesses and individuals who have helped to keep all of the auction volunteers very well fed. We really appreciate this support, which of course aids greatly in the success of Action Auction. Item T2 was obedience class from K9 All-Breed Obedience Training, a high bid received of $35. The Big Duke pickup truck from Tonka Toys, $25, the high bid on that one. The Stereo As You Go from Intertrade, a high bid received of $63. The Banjo from the Park Music Center, a high bid received of $80 on that item. And finally, we had the Pyroceram dishes from Palm Brothers, a high bid on that one received $91. Call in, bid often, and bid high, please. Jay Philpot now has some more items up on the auction block.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, we have just a couple minutes left, 2 minutes to be exact, for the K-board. We'll be closing the K-board in 2 minutes, so make your final high bids now at 644-2000 here at Action Auction 82 on Channel 2. Now with me from KJO Radio is Joe Aho with new merchandise on the T-board.
Well, thank you, Jay. Opening up the T-board with item T1 is a $50 gift certificate for merchandise. The donor firm is Dresnick Drug on North Lexington in St. Paul. Dresnick Brothers is offering you your own little shopping spree with $50 in merchandise. Choose from any item on the store shelf. The merchandise is ready. The choice is yours. The highest bidder will take it away. If they haven't got what you want, you'll want what they've got. That's item T1, $50 gift certificate for merchandise. Item T2 is Stereo As You Go system, valued at $60. The donor firm is Intratrade Incorporated on West 73rd Street in Minneapolis. For your ears only, AM radio or FM stereo, anywhere you can go. You can take Stereo 104, KJJO, or 99.5 FM, WLOL.
That's better. That's
Thank you. Had to satisfy Jay there.
That's right.
You can slip the Sportsman receiver in your pocket or clip it to your belt, plug in the 2-ounce stereo headphones, and you've got it. Listen to your favorite music anywhere you are. That's item T2, a stereo-as-you-go sound system. Item T3 is a ceiling clock valued at $40 from Adventure Travel Incorporated in Minneapolis. Now, this is a two-part ditto item, and that means that the two highest bidders will each get one of these. The High Time ceiling clock is a unique unit designed for long years of reliable service. Besides adding a decorator's touch to any room, this clock also provides a lighted projection of the time on your ceiling. Bid high rather on this most unusual item, item T3. Item T4 is an engraved candy dish. The donor value is $50, and the donor firm is House of Cut Crystal on Minnehaha Avenue South in Minneapolis. This is a special edition of stemmed candy dish etched in a Colorado Splendor pattern. Each piece is signed, dated, and numbered by the craftsman Merv Miller and made only for Action Auction, a hand-cut work of art. Also, an added attraction, we have filled it with the candy of the year, which of course are President Reagan's jelly beans.
Those Jelly Bellies?
Jelly bellies? I don't know.
Oh, those
yeah,
are
they
good.
are.
Oh.
Good things.
Those are good jelly beans.
Okay, President, get on the phone now. That's item T4. Item T5 is an oil painting set valued at $55. The donor firm is Art Materials Incorporated on Lindale Avenue South in Minneapolis. Start having fun today. This painting set includes an unfinished wooden box, 10 tubes of color, 1 tube of white, 3 brushes, 1 canvas board palette with a durable palette cup, color chart, instruction sheet, and color mixing guide. You can get into painting. That's item T5, valued at $55. The last item on this T-board is a smoke box, item T6, valued at $64. The donor firm is Charles H. Bell of Minneapolis. This is for use in smoking fish. Fishermen, you can have fun and a tasty treat. Easy to operate, one can't make a mistake, and you can also use it for smoking sausage or meat. That's item T6, the last item on the T-board. 644-2000 is the number to dial, and Jay Philpot of WLOL is going to recap this for us. Jay?
Thank you very much, Joe. On the T-board, item T1 is merchandise in the amount of $50 given to us from Desnick Brothers Drug of St. Paul. That's item T1. Item T2, the stereo-as-you-go sound system with a donor value of $60 from Intertrade Incorporated of Minneapolis. Item T3 was the ceiling clock, a $40 donor value from Adventure Travel Incorporated, Minneapolis. And that's a two-part ditto, so the two highest bidders receive that as well. Item T4 is the engraved candy dish with a donor value of $50 from the House of Cut Crystal in Minneapolis. Item T5, the oil painting sets, donor value $55 from Art Materials Incorporated of Minneapolis. And our final item on the T-board, item T6, the smoke box, $64, the donor value from Charles H. Bell of Minneapolis. As Joe said, it is 644-2000 here, our phone number for bidding on any of the merchandise on the KTC or A boards here at Channel 2's Action Auction, where we go back to Mike Walcher at Action Auction Central.
All right, thank you very much, Jay Philpot. And we want to hear from you. We need some help today on those telephones. Bid high, bid off in this, the last leg of Action Auction 82 to raise money for the fine programming seen here on KTCA television. Now, we have the winners on the A board, and while I'm reading these high bids, you're going to be seeing the names of some businesses and individuals who have made cash donations to this year's Action Auction. We really appreciate their financial help. Item A1 was clock repair from Harvey H. Gloman. The high bid received on this one was $36. A2, dry cleaning from Phelan Cleaners. A high bid received $18. A3, shoe repair from Bob's Shoe Repair. A high bid received on that item of $16. A4, pool service from Waterway Pool Services. A high bid received $54. A5 was paint and supplies from the Lathrop Paint Supply Company, and a high bid received $55 on that item. A6, retirement seminars from Mount Sinai's Stages Project. A high bid on that one received $35. So there you have the high bidders, the winners on the last A board. Now, let's go back to Studio B.
And we are back in Studio B. It may look like we're holding auditions for the Gong Show, but we're not. Today is crazy day at Channel 2 because it's the last day of our auction and we'll be going into the early hours of the morning. And we would like to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated, today's daily special board underwriter. And now let's review the following daily special items. D4, karate lessons. D5, a recliner. And D6, the 3-day yacht charter. Item D4 is from the Karate Institute, and they are lessons valued at $500 from the Karate Institute. If you are one of those curious persons wanting to know more about the art of self-defense, win this bid and let Channel 2 help you discover what karate is all about. Once enrolled with the Karate Institute, you'll be on your way to earning the much-desired black belt. Sound exciting? The popular sport of karate is an excellent activity, not only to keep your physical self in condition, but also to keep your reflexes sharp. One must be sharp these days. And next is item D5, the Barcalounger recliner, valued at $500 from Hanley's Furniture. This white vinyl recliner is a genuine Barcalounger, ensures proper body support and unmatched comfort in all positions from the upright to the full recline position. The design, leadership, and quality construction make Barcaliner one of America's most comfortable seating units. And finally, item D6, the 3-day charter of a yacht valued at $500 from Sailboats Incorporated in Excelsior, Minnesota. To all the folks who love to sail, this one's for you. 3 full days on your own C&C 27, a 27-foot sailing yacht fully equipped with the auxiliary power, of course. This is a bare boat cruise, so you are your own captain and crew. The boat sleeps 5 adults, and all you bring are your own bedding and provisions. You may leave from Bayfield, Superior, or Marionette, Wisconsin, and cover as much of Lake Superior as you like for any 3-day period this summer that you can arrange with Sailboats Incorporated. Good luck, smooth sailing, and away you go. If you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bid on the daily special items, call our operators at 644-1555 and they will assist you. And it's time to go back over to Studio A.
Thank you very much. We'll be closing the Seaboard in just 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to make your final high bids on the Seaboard at 644-2000. With me now is Jean Morrison. She's with Pillsbury, and she's in the Human Resource. She is the Human Resources Director in the Research and Development Lab at Pillsbury, and she has some new merchandise for us now on the A board. Go ahead.
Okay, item A1 is a Costco Peterson infant car seat, donor value of $50, donated by the Minnesota AAA in Burnsville. This is a 2-in-1 seat for infants and toddlers. It passes all federal safety standards and has adjustable height and safety bar. Item A2 are 5 $10 steak and ale certificates, donor value of $50, donated by none other than the Pillsbury Company in Minneapolis. If you need a little incentive to eat away from home, just for a change, get the high bid on this unmistakably steak and ale offer. Choose from their delicious steak, prime rib, or lobster at any of the 3 locations in Roseville, Bloomington, or St. Louis Park. Item A3 is a paint sprayer, donor value of $100, donated by the Wagner Spray Tech in Minneapolis. There's nothing like a power painter for getting the job done in a professional way. This one has hard plastic container to resist solvent, a nozzle with safety guard, and an electromagnet motor. You can get all sorts of attachments for all kinds of finishing jobs. Item A4 are dishes. Donor value $169. Donated by Finport in Minneapolis. From Finland, these Arabia dishes exemplify the finest of Scandinavian design. 4 cups and saucers, 1 creamer, 1 covered sugar bowl, and 1 pitcher in the troubadour pattern. Item A5, 2 reel-to-reel tapes with a donor value of $54. The donor firm is the Audio Innovation from Edina. The Ampex Grandmaster Professional Recording Tape, 180 minutes, 7 1/2 inches per second, 1 mil, back-coated. And finally, item A6 is Amy, the 3rd annual KTCA doll. Donor value of $110, donated by the Peggy Madsen family in Burnsville. A lavender print dress trimmed with purple ruffles make red-haired, green-eyed Amy a special young lady. Purple ribbons and a simple white lace trim add to her outfit. Black felt shoes, lace-trimmed petticoat, and pantaloons complete her attire. Her jersey body is filled with polyester.
Thank you very much, Gene. We'll review some of the items here on the A board. Item A1 is the Costco Peterson infant car seat. The donor value on that $50 from the Minnesota AAA of Burnsville. Item A2 was 5 $10 steak and ale certificates, a $50 donor value from the Pillsbury Company of Minneapolis. Item A3, the paint sprayer from Wagner Spray Tech, a $100 donor value. Item A4, the dishes from Philpot with a $169 donor value. Item A5 was the reel-to-reel tapes from Audio Innovations with a donor value of $54. And our final item was item A6, an Amy, the 3rd annual KTCA doll with a $110 donor value from the Peggy Madston family. And now back at Action Auction Central, we'll go and see what's happening with Mike Walcher.
All right, thank you very much, Jay Philpot. We have the winners now, the high bidders on the K board that we closed recently. Item K1 was the Big Duke pickup truck from Tonka Toys, a high bid received of $25. By the way, many Twin Cities neighborhood churches did provide storage space for the auction donations, and we want to thank those churches for this fine service. Item K2, the Mickey Mouse telephone from Collins Communications, a high bid received of $127 on that item. K3, the lamp from J.J. Place, a high bid of $70. K4, car stereo systems from Champion Auto Stores, a high bid received $75 on that item. K5, the Book of Bargains from the Bargain Book Incorporated, a high bid of $20 on that item. And K6, Stereo As You Go, Entertrade provided that item, and a high bid received there of $56. So as soon as we announce the winners on this K board, let's go back over to Jay. We'll be opening up a new K board and I believe closing out T.
We are closing the T board in 2 minutes. Just give us a couple more calls, 644-2000, and you have 2 minutes to make your final high bids on the T board. Now we have a new auctioneer and some brand new merchandise on the K board this afternoon. Jerry Teets. That's right. I got it right. I practiced very hard. I didn't want to embarrass him or myself. Jerry is the plant manager for Pillsbury's Totino Pizza Factory, pizza plant in Fridley, and he has some new merchandise for us now on the K board.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item K1 is a soap arrangement with a value of $50, and it is donated by a friend. Bid high on this assortment of soaps. Give as gifts or use as guest soaps in your home. For item K2, we have a raccoon sculpture entitled Good Morning Kiss, and this is valued at $175, and it's donated by Calhoun's Collectors Society Incorporated of Minneapolis. A limited edition of art. The ringtail raccoon mother and child is made from fine imported bisque and hand-painted to bring out all of the natural beauty of these endearing creatures. For item K3, we have Sam Grayus doodle prints, and this is a 2-part ditto. The 2 highest bidders will each get one of these fine prints. Sam Grayus doodles are all freehand, 2 in permanent exhibit at the Minnesota Museum of Art. KTCA has received over $125,000 from sale of Sam Grayus originals. However, these are prints. Item K4, the item is a book of bargains valued at $25 from Bargain Book Incorporated of St. Paul. Again, this is a 2-part ditto, with the 2 highest bidders each receiving one of these bargain books. Here's your chance for free items such as wheel alignments, oil changes, haircuts, and pizza, 2-for-1 bonus coupons featuring meals, theater admissions. These are for the University St. Paul area. If these are not your area, they are exchangeable for such. And for item K5, we have a marble vanity top valued at $55 from Merle's Construction Company Incorporated of St. Paul. Remodelers, homeowners, people with dull drab bathrooms, change it all. Start with a new marble vanity and decorate around it. This solid, beautiful marble vanity is just the beginning. Okay, and finally for item K6, we have an autobiography, The Wisdom of Love, each valued at $13, and it's donated by Mrs. Edith Linhoff Edelman of Minneapolis. Now people, this is a 4-part ditto, so that the 4 highest bidders will each get one of these autobiographies. Edith Linhoff Edelman is well known in Minneapolis for her efforts in charitable causes. This book covers her life from her childhood in Russia to her coming to America. There are pictures of her family. Part of the proceeds from these sales will be donated to the J.L. Linhoff Memorial Fund.
All right, thank you very much, Jerry. We'll recap the items now on the K board. Item K1, the soap assortment, a donor value of $50 from a friend of KTCA. Item K2 is the raccoon sculpture entitled Good Morning Kiss, with a donor value of $175. That comes to us from Calhoun's Collectors Society, Incorporated of Minneapolis. Item K3 is a two-part ditto, the Sam Gray's Doodle Prince, with a donor value of $25. Two-part ditto, by the way. Item K4, the Book of Bargains, a $25 donor value from Bargain Book Incorporated of St. Paul. This is also a two-part ditto, which means that the two highest bidders will each get one. Item K5 is the Marble Vanity Top with a donor value of $55, coming to us from Merle's Construction Company Incorporated of St. Paul. And our final item is item K6, the autobiography, The Wisdom of Love, Mrs. Edith Linhoff Edelman, with a donor value of $13. This is a four-part ditto, so the four highest bidders will each receive this. Now, let's go over to Studio B.
And we're back in Studio B with Crazy Day, the last day of Action Auction 1982, so be prepared to look at our items and call in with big bids. And we'd like to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated, today's daily special board underwriter. And let's take a look at some of the new items that are open for bidding here at Daily Specials. Item D7 is the VIC 20 home computer valued at $300 from Advanced Integrated Development. Be the first on the block to own a home computer. Many hours of pleasure will be yours if you bid on this VIC 20 personal computer. Item D8 is a Franklin wood-burning fireplace with utensils valued at $350 from a friend of KTCA. When you say Franklin fireplace, you've only just begun, because this one has it all. A complete set of tools, a wraparound skirt to keep ashes from falling out, a 36-inch firebox, a safety screen, and doors that close up tight to conserve heat and fuel. Ideal for that cabin, vacation home, or anywhere that wood is available. You can cook on it or in it, use it for heat, or simply admire it. Be sure to cut a hole in the roof to let the smoke out, otherwise it can get a little stuffy. Some people actually put a stovepipe on units like this to lead the smoke out of the building. This works the best, of course. Sold fireless this year, but if you overbid on this item, we could probably find a match to light your first one too. And finally is item D9. The Joe Duffy Golf Tournament, a value of $350 donated by Joe Duffy. Here's a free entrance to play in a golf tournament, Joe Duffy's Celebrity Golf and Tennis Tournament. This includes 2 days of golf, a cocktail party, a dinner party, and golf clothes. It's at Majestic Oaks Country Club on June 26th and 27th. If you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bid on the daily special items, call our operators at 644-1555 and they will assist you. And we would like to thank our volunteer telephone operators from the Pillsbury Company and all of our individual telephone operators. They're busy taking your bids. And now it's time to go back over to Studio A.
Thank you very much, and hey, we need to hear from you. The telephone's a little bit on the silent side this early afternoon, the last day of Action Auction 82. Please call in and do bid on these fine items that we're offering you this afternoon. Okay, we have the final numbers now, the high bids on the C board. Item C1 was the number 110 toolbox from Hewitt Manufacturing Company, a high bid of $60 on that. C2, the telephone from Northern Telecom, a high bid of $90. By the way, while I'm reading these high bids, you're going to be seeing the names of businesses and individuals who have donated services used to produce this auction. We really appreciate this support, and we would like to very much thank these fine donors. C3, stereo as you go from Intertrade, a high bid of $61 on that item. C4, the Book of Bargains from Bargain Book Incorporated, a high bid of $22. C5, auto seat covers from Sterling Products, a high bid of $30 on that item. And C6, the table lamp from the Wander Furniture Company, and a high bid on that one of $49. Let's go now to Board C and show you some new items that you can start bidding on. Here's Jay.
But before we can show you those new items on the C board, we have to let you know that we'll be closing the A board in 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to give us your final high bids on the A board, 644-2000. Now, with new merchandise on the C board, is KJJO's Joe Aho.
Thank you, Jay. Jay, this board, the C board now, is made up entirely of gift certificates. The first one is a fantastic gift certificate. This is a day of sailing or racing on Lake Minnetonka, valued at over $50. The donor firm is Alan R. Jensen of Plymouth, Minnesota. You can spend a day sailing or racing on a J24 racing sloop on Lake Minnetonka. 4 people can go for a pleasure sail or 2 for a companionship race. Action and fun, your choice. $50 worth of a day of sailing on Lake Minnetonka. That's item C1. Item C2 is a 6-foot submarine sandwich. It feeds 20 to 25 average people or 2 hungry DJs like Jay and myself. The value is $50. That's provided for us by GIA Comos Incorporated on Grand Avenue in St. Paul. You can build a party around this 6-foot submarine sandwich, which feeds 20 or 25 people. It includes 4 types of cold cuts and cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes, and GIA Comos special sauce. That's item C2, a 6-foot submarine sandwich valued at $50. Item C3 is a chicken dinner. $10 is the value on this. It's donated by the Acres Restaurant and Drive-In on South Robert Street in West St. Paul. Now, this is a 5-part ditto, so the 5 highest bidders will each get one. A chicken dinner valued at $10, item C3. Item C4 is dinner for 4, valued at $19. The donor firm is Joe Duffy's Foul Play on 15th and University here in Minneapolis. This is a 4-part ditto, so the 4 highest bidders will each get one of these. A chance for 4 people to enjoy our menu. We feature only turkey prepared in many dishes. We do have alcoholic beverages available. That's provided by Joe Duffy's Foul Play. Dinner for 4, $19 is the value of that. A 4-part ditto, that's item C4. Item C5 is dinner for 2, $17 each is the value on that, provided by Med Cuisine on Sibley Memorial Highway in Eagan. This is a 3-part ditto, so the 3 highest bidders will each get one. A dinner for 2, that's item C5. The last item on this C board is a half-hour marionette show entitled The Circus. $150 is the value of that. The donor firm is Jackson Marionette Productions on Perry Avenue in Minneapolis. Now think of the number of times at children's parties or special gatherings that a marionette show would have such a special hit. Now is your opportunity to have one just for yourself or your friends or loved ones. Be the hit of any party with this half-hour marionette show entitled The Circuits. That's item C6. To bid on this, 644-2000. Jay Philpot is going to review all those items on the C-board. Jay?
Quickly looking back at what we have on the C-board, item C1 is a day of sailing and racing on Lake Minnetonka. Oh, sounds good to me. $50 donor value from Alan R. Jensen of Plymouth, Minnesota. Item C2 is the 6-foot submarine sandwich, which would feed about 20 to 25 of your very, very close personal friends. $50, the donor value from GIA Comos Incorporated of St. Paul. Item C3 is a chicken dinner, a $10 donor value from the Acres Restaurant and Drive-In. And now this is a 5-part ditto, which means the 5 highest bidders, well, 5 hungriest bidders too, I guess, will each get one. Item C3, the chicken dinner. Item C4, dinner for 4 at Joe Duffy's Foul Play, $19 donor value. A 4-part ditto, the 4 hungriest, highest bidders will get that item. Item C5, there's also a dinner for 2 at Med Cuisine with a $17 donor value. Med Cuisine, of course, located in Eagan, and this is a 3-part ditto, so the 3 highest bidders receive this item. And our final bid on the C-board, our final item on the C-board, item C6, a half-hour marionette show entitled The Circus, $150 donor value from Jackson Marionette Productions of Minneapolis. That wraps it up from this part on Studio A. Let's go over to Studio B for some information about the Dream House.
As you know, the auction's success depends on good community support. This year, businesses, unions, and individuals have built a dream house for the auction to sell. Now we have a videotape to tell you a little bit more about our dream house.
Minnesota's forests are an important part of this year's dream house. Most of the wood used for construction was grown, milled, and manufactured in Minnesota. One of America's greatest renewable resources, its forests, can be found right here in Minnesota. There are almost 1 million acres of industry-owned forest land, which are managed according to multiple use principles for timber growing, recreation, and wildlife habitat. Ranked as the third largest industry in Minnesota, the forest products industry represents a permanent and growing industry which is based on an important renewable resource, trees. Minnesota Forest Industries is an association of forest products companies concerned with maintaining healthy, growing Minnesota forests and informing the public about good forest management. Members of the Minnesota Forest Industries have also provided wood and wood products for the Dream House. Strong and straight Minnesota pine was used to frame part of the Dream House and came from the Ryla Timber Company in Deer River, Minnesota, a family-owned sawmill since 1930. Potlatch Corporation in Bemidji provided oxboard for the subflooring of the house. This unique product, developed by Potlatch, utilizes a new technique of orienting wood strands to give the oxboard strength properties similar to plywood, but less expensive. Minnesota wood was used by the Blandin Wood Products Company in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, to manufacture wafer board for the wall and roof sheathing. Blandex wall sheathing and less skid roof sheathing are more structurally uniform than plywood. Both products have helped to make the Dream House secure. Blandin Wood Products Company operated the first waferboard plant in the United States. The outside of the house is protected by hardboard horizontal sawtooth siding from Boise Cascade, Timber and Wood Products Group, which has been manufacturing hardboard siding in International Falls since 1914. Boise Cascade has perfected the embossing and coating techniques of the sawtooth siding to make this a durable, long-lasting product that will stand up against Minnesota's contrasting seasons. The Dream House reflects the latest in contemporary design, quality products, and services available in Minnesota. And we'd like to thank everyone who helped to make the Dream House a reality.
We are now accepting offers on the Dream House. If you'd like more information, give us a call at 644-1555. The Dream House is open for viewing today until 5 p.m. If you call the operators, they can give you directions. For more information about this year's Dream House or how you can participate in next year's Dream House project, give us a call at 644-1555. And now it's time to go back over to Studio A.
All right, thank you very much. And we have the final high bids on the T-board we closed out recently. It's almost like election night. The returns are in, ladies and gentlemen. Item T1, you'll recall, merchandise from Desnick Brothers Drug, a high bid of $40. While I'm reading these high bids, you'll see the names of businesses and individuals who have donated services used to produce this auction. We really appreciate this support and would like very much to thank these fine donors. Okay, T2, Stereo As You Go from Intertrade Incorporated, a high bid of $61. T3, Ceiling Clock, Adventure Travel Incorporated, a high bid of $32. The Engraved Candy Dish from the House of Cut Crystal, a high bid of $51. Oil painting sets from Art Materials Incorporated, a high bid received of $40. And the Smoke Box from Charles H. Bell, a high bid received of that one of $37. Thank you all for calling in and bidding. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling just a little bit on the hungry side. Wouldn't it be nice to go out to a nice restaurant, be waited on by some friendly people, and then just pig out? Well, if you're feeling that way, we have a quickie board coming up for you. Some very fast and furious action involving some restaurant and food items. Let's take a look at what is new now on our quickie board. All right. Item Q1, dinner for two, a value of $15 from the Brown Derby Lounge at 567 Stryker Avenue. Again, the value of this item, $15. That's the Brown Derby Lounge of St. Paul, Minnesota. Apples and merchandise worth $10 from the Pine Tree Apple Orchard in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Again, the value $10. Quickie item number 3, food. Just plain food. $10 is the value from Plymouth Country Kitchen in Plymouth. The next item, 2 dinners worth $16 from Town Crier Incorporated. They're on Nicollet in Minneapolis. The next item, dinner, $18 from Duke's Restaurant at 6449 Concord Boulevard in Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. Again, the value there is $18 for dinner. And the final item, not a food item actually, theater pass for 2, worth $7 from Cinemaland Theaters, Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis. The movies at the Heights, Edina, Yorktown, Suburban World, Campus, Varsity, Grandview, Highland, or Boulevards. There you have it, our quickie board. The bidding on these items will close in a couple of minutes. You will be confirmed by telephone if you are the high bidder on one of these items. Let's get a little bit of excitement into this thing. Let's hear it for our phone volunteers. Where's that bell? There you go. All right, fast and furious quickie board action. 2 minutes you have to call in and bid on those fine items. Now let's go over to board T to open up the bidding on some brand new items. And here's Jay.
Thank you very much, Mike. I just want to let you know our afternoon personality, Pete Thompson, who's on the air right now, will be here later tonight at Action Auction, right around 8 o'clock, I believe. If you'd like to see what Pete's like, maybe help him out, give him some bids on some of the merchandise. He'll be here later this evening as Action Auction winds down its final day for 1982. Now, before we open a new board of merchandise on the T-board, we'll let you know that the K-board will close in 2 minutes. Give us your final high bids now in the next 2 minutes. 644-2000 is the number. Jean Morrison is back with us, and she has some new merchandise now on the T-board.
Okay, item T1, stereo as you go sound system, donor value $60, donated by Intertrade from Minneapolis. For your ears only, AM radio or FM stereo anywhere you go. Just slip the Sportsman receiver in your pocket or clip it onto your belt. Plug in the 2-ounce stereo headphones and you've got it. Listen to your favorite music wherever you are. Item T2, 1 cheese pencil holder, 1 paperweight, and 1 candle snuffer for a donor value of $43, donated by a friend of KTCA. These brass desk assortments will make you look efficient. Cheese pencil holder and pheasant paperweight will keep you organized. Horsehead candle snuffer tops off the set. This is a 2-part ditto. The 2 highest bidders will each get 1. Item T3 is a blue ladies cardigan sweater in the large size with a donor value of $30, donated by Theodore's in St. Paul. I also want to note that they have stores in the Galleria in Edina or in the Rosedale Mall. This is a washable acrylic boucle knit sweater, a handsome summer, autumn, spring cover-up. The latest answer to the blazer fashion. Bid on it. You'll love it. Item T4 are dishes with a donor value of $137. These are donated by Philpot in Minneapolis. These troubadour serving pieces from the famous Arabia of Finland will make your table setting special. Hand-painted, microwave safe, and durable. What you'd expect from the finished design. Large circular serving platter, a 2-quart serving bowl, and a creamer and sugar bowl. Item T5 is a Lou Grant script. The value of this item is going to be left up to you. How much do you like the Lou Grant show? How much did you like the Lou Grant show? An actual script from the director's instructions. The show was called Lou and was production number 9520. A real collector's item about one of today's most highly acclaimed television shows. Item T6, a black velvet soft sculpture with a donor value of $60, donated by the Cat House in St. Paul. Did you ever want a cat but didn't want to remember to feed it? Well, here's the answer. A soft sculpture in the shape of a cat sleeping. Handcrafted from black velvet, this wonderful pet will always sleep on your floor. Good, too, for those people who can never have enough cats.
Thank you very much, Jean. We'll recap the items now on the T-board for you. Item T1 is the stereo as you go sound system, a $60 donor value from Intertrade Incorporated of Minneapolis. Item T2, the cheese pencil holder and the paperweight candle snuffer, all that good stuff, a $43 donor value from a friend of KTCA, and it is a 2-part ditto, so the 2 highest bidders will each get that item. Item T3, the ladies cardigan sweater, $30 donor value from Theodore's of St. Paul. They also have locations at Galleria in Edina or the Rosedale Mall. Item T4, the dishes, a donor value of $137 from Philpot. Minneapolis is the location. T5, neat item, Lou Grant script. It doesn't have a donor value, but I guess that's really what you would think something like this would be worth. A quite unique gift that you can pick up here only on Action Auction at KTCA. And item T6, a black velvet soft sculpture, $60 donor value from the Cat House of St. Paul. 644-2000 is our telephone number if you'd like to make a bid on any of the items here at Channel 2. Now, let's go to Studio B.
Thank you, Jay. We would like to thank Dane Bosworth Incorporated, today's daily special board underwriter. Dane Bosworth Incorporated, your interregional financial group. And we have a number of interesting daily special items on the board that we would like to show you now. Item D10 is a meerschaum pipe valued at $600, donated by Mr. and Mrs. Frank Kramer. This meerschaum pipe is a little over 3 feet long, definitely for the pipe collector. On display in an officer den, it would truly be a conversation piece. Because of its unusual size, it is almost impossible to estimate its value. It has been repaired and it needs a new mouthpiece. It comes in a custom-made case, maybe for taking to smoke at parties. Item D11 is a beautiful woman's sapphire and diamond ring valued at $650, donated by Goodman Jewelers in St. Paul. This lovely dinner ring from the jewelers who made the Starbright diamond famous is the perfect complement to Milady's collection. 13 diamonds and 10 sapphires appear in a pyramid-shaped yellow-gold setting, with the diamonds forming a cross separating the sapphires into 2 groups of 5 stones each. This ring is a size 6 and is not exchangeable. Technicalities aside, this exquisite piece of jewelry is perfect for the delicate hand of your fair lady, where it can reflect the sparkle of her eyes that will appear every time she wears it. And item D12 is a Japanese woodblock print entitled Lunacy by Yoshitoshi Taisao. It is valued at $725 and has been donated by Asian Fine Arts. Here is an exquisite 21 by 16-inch framed woodblock print. It is number 69 in the series, 100 Views of the Moon. Yoshitoshi was a renowned Meiji master of the Yuikoi world. This series was his most famous. The story is a pathetic one of an abandoned lady love reading old letters beneath a cold moon. If you have any questions about the merchandise or the current bids on any of the daily special items, call these operators at 644-1555 and they will be glad to assist you. We would like to thank Universal Sound for their donation of entertainment to this year's auction party. Universal Sound will be providing a wide variety of music from 50s to jazz to downright good dancing tunes. And now it's time to go back to Mike Walcher and Jay Philpot in Studio A.
And we're back in Studio A to read the high bids from the A board. And while I'm reading the high bids, you'll see the names of businesses and individuals who have helped to keep all of our auction volunteers well fed. We really appreciate this support, and it adds to the success of the auction. And now for the high bids on the A board. A1, the Costco Peterson infant seat from Minnesota AAA, went for a high bid of $45. Item A2, the steak and ale certificates from Pillsbury Company, had a high bid of also $45. And item A3, the paint sprayer from Wagner Spray Tech, had a high bid of $77. And item A4, the dishes from Finport, had a high bid of $55. And item A5, the reel-to-reel tapes from Audio Innovation, had a high bid of $22. And item A6, the Amy KTCA doll, donated by Peggy Madsen and family, had a high bid of $41. And now we'll take you over to Board A to see what items are up next on the auction block.
We'll have the C board closed in 2 minutes, so make your final high bids now at 644-2000 here at Action Auction. Jerry Tietz is back with us with more new merchandise now on the A board.
Okay, the first item on our board in A1 is an 11 by 14 art color studio portrait valued at $60, and this is given by Monique Dawnfire Photography of Minneapolis.